Alaska Gymnasium on the campus of Assumption College, WGMC TV3 proudly presents live coverage of Northeast 10 Conference basketball. Tonight, the AIC Yellow Jackets travel down the Mass Pike from Springfield and look to sting the Assumption College Greyhounds in this hoop clash. Hello everyone and welcome inside the Alaska Gymnasium. I'm Kevin Shea, joined alongside with our Assumption basketball analyst Joe O'Brien. And Joe, we saw two major reasons why Assumption was picked to repeat as the NE10 champs on Wednesday night as the Hounds down pace, and that is Brian Moore and Drew Cooper. They were phenomenal.
Oh, you're right on, Kevin. There's no question that they had an outstanding game. They generated 53 points. The continued improvement of Adam Petkus and the unheralded play of Andy Niezwicki. The Hounds team is off to a good 2-0 start in the league.
And by contrast, the Yellow Jackets come in tonight with a 1-5 record. They have lost their last 5 straight games, so they look to rebound tonight with a very young team. There's only 2 seniors on this squad.
A team that you have to be a little bit nervous about, though, with 3 Division I transfers and Jorge Garcia back from last year. They're an offensive time bomb waiting to go off. You don't want to be on the opposing bench the night they put it all together.
The keys to this game, you mentioned, both coaches concerned with turnovers.
I think what happens is AIC has a tendency to overfoul. They put the enemy on the line 180 times and only shot 90 foul shots themselves, and both coaches feel as though the young AIC team has a tendency to turn the ball over.
So it is the Yellow Jackets of AIC and the Hounds of Assumption in this NE10 tilt. We'll be back with the tip-off right after this.
My life has changed forever. Will I never have to worry?
Will I have the freedom to do, to go, to be whatever I want?
Will I ever be a size 10?
What do we expect from our HMO? The perfect life? All we really want is a promise to let our doctor do her job. And if anyone in our family gets sick, make sure we can go to the best doctors and hospitals. Nobody delivers on that promise like Fallon, with benefits that redefine healthcare. Then there's Fallon's Peace of Mind program. It lets you self-refer to some of the world's most famous hospitals and specialists. No gatekeepers.
Will my smile light the sky?
Will I be around to see my great-grandchildren?
Ask your employer about all the benefits only Fallon offers. Or call Fallon.
Hi, I'm Lionel Lamro. It's hard to believe that we have been in business for a little over 20 years. During those years, Lamro Ford has built a reputation of providing our customers a different car shopping experience. No pressure and no gimmicks. From our showroom to our parts department to our award-winning service department, we believe in complete customer satisfaction. Our only goal is to satisfy the customer. For a totally different car shopping experience, take advantage of our experience. Lamro Ford, Route 9, East Brookfield, where friends send their friends.
We're back, everyone, inside the Alaska Gymnasium and getting ready for the tip-off between the Yellow Jackets and the Hounds. And Joe, records certainly aren't indicative oftentimes of an NE10 battle of what can happen out there. Really, when you get into league play, you can throw the records out the window on any given night. Any team can beat another.
There's great parity in the league, and it's been proven over the course of the years that the champion or the #1 team has often lost to the #10 team. So anything can happen. As you mentioned in the opening, this AIC team is explosive. They just have not been able to put it together, and they've had 5 consecutive road losses. And here we are at the Hounds gym, so they're on the road again.
Taking a look at our starters, Rashawn Mickens, Willie Gainey, Raphael Baden-Shin from Worcester Academy, the big fella from Russia, Jorge Garcia, and Kingsley Egg Buchanan. We'll call him Eggy. Brad Mancini controlling things now for the Hounds. Assumption coming off that big league victory against Pace on Wednesday night. Went down to the wire. Cooper and Moore exploded. And now the shot is off the mark by Adam Petkus. They were looking to go inside to Baden-Shin. Tipped away. And this will be an interesting matchup because certainly Badenshin has the size.
Both teams opened in man-to-man defense. Badenshin challenged Petkus to make the jumper, and Adam wasn't able to put it down.
Garcia kicking it back out to Gainey. They'll work around. Great look by Garcia, and the shot is off the mark by Badenshin as he airs his first attempt. Cooper right down the other end. The pull-up, and then Petkus getting on the scoreboard. His first 2 of the night, and the Hounds lead it 2-zip.
Nice look inside by Drew Cooper, and Adam Petkus finishes it off.
Carter and Mickens, the big scorers. Badenshin averaging just about 5 points a game. Now the 3-ball, Mickens nails it. Rashawn Mickens with a 3-pointer. He's averaging just over 14 a game.
It's a transfer from Division I Wichita State. He's an outstanding shooter, very good offensive player.
He and Carter generally are the focus of that offense. Andy Niedzwiecki now. Checked by Gainey, inside to Petkus. It looks like this is the matchup the Hounds want to exploit early. And Adam will not get the roll, tipped up now and taken by the Yellow Jackets. Gainey. Now Mickens. Mickens collects. Garcia inside, and we're going to get a traveling violation on Badenshin.
Badenshin is the tallest player in the NE10, but he hasn't been a real force for the Yellow Jackets so far this year.
Averaging less than 3 rebounds a game, and that's certainly not what you like to see from a guy who's 6'11" and 230 pounds. And now Niedzwiecki able to draw the foul on Willie Gainey.
As we mentioned in the opening, the AIC team, particularly the guards, have a tendency to put a lot of hands on, and as a result, they put the opponents at the foul line often during a ball game. See whether or not the Greyhounds can take advantage of that tonight.
Niedzwiecki now runs the show. Mancini closely guarded there by Mickens, and now Petkus picks up his second hoop of the game.
Mancini, nice penetration, great feed. Way to finish it off, Adam Petkus.
Early on, it looks as though the Hounds are looking to get it right inside to Adam Petkus and maybe get Badenshin in foul trouble. Now there's a scramble for the loose ball. We're going to get a jump ball. And as is custom of the Assumption team, anytime a ball is on the ground, you'll see 4 to 5 jerseys going after it. Adam Petkus wound up with it along with Jorge Garcia, so it'll be a jump ball in the possession arrow in the direction of the Yellow Jackets.
When the ball goes on the floor, Assumption College becomes a rugby team, and they did it again there. It's something that Serge and his assistants really stress.
Drew Cooper stealing the inbounds pass, so the Hounds looking to extend their lead. They're up by 1. Brian Moore, turnaround, off balance, won't go. Mancini looked like he wanted to throw it right up off the rebound, a one-timer. Lost the handle, it comes down, and Garcia had his foot on the line. So it will stay Assumption basketball. So 17-21 remaining in the first half. 4-3 Assumption. Adam Petkus has both of the Hounds hoops, and now Brad Mancini draws the foul from Rashawn Mickens.
Again, hands-on foul by the AIC guards.
AIC foul number 11, Mickens. First personal, second team foul.
Niedzwiecki goes out to Moore. Fresh shot clock for the Hounds. Andy Niedzwiecki's first shot of the night. 3-pointer won't go. Tipped around. Drew Cooper gets the rebound, but his foot was on the line. Andy Johnson shouting out instructions to his troops.
Assumption not going to use pressure defense at the beginning of the game. They're going to use fallback man-to-man. Try to make AIC prove they can shoot the threes over the top with consistency.
Mickens and Garcia now out top. Mickens on the drive, can't get the roll. Brian Moore had position and held it, and Mickens had to alter his shot a little bit. Mickens now for 3, and he gets it. So Mickens has been the entire offensive show for the Yellow Jackets tonight. 2 3-pointers. Adam Petkus has 2 field goals for the Hounds, and it's a 6-4 AIC lead.
Guard play of AIC in the presence of Mickens versus the inside play of Assumption. So far, that's Petkus. Careless pass by Andy Niedzwiecki.
Brian Moore down on the blocks looking to post up Kingsley Egbuchaman. Now Gainey will check out of the ball game. He is replaced by Saavedra. Mickens to Garcia. They go inside, and an easy 2 for Badenshin.
Badenshin used his feet very well there. Looked like an offensive player. Made a nice move to the basket after the good feed.
Brad Mancini right back, and they're going to say Adam Petkus touched the basketball. Offensive interference.
Nice drive by Mancini. I'm not sure if it was Adam or if it was Drew Cooper. I think it was Drew Cooper who touched the ball above the rim. So long as the ball is above the rim, whether it's actually on the cylinder or not, offensive player can't touch it.
We'll take a break from the Alaska Gymnasium with the score AIC 8 and Assumption 4.
Hi, I'm Lionel Lamro. It's hard to believe that we have been in business for a little over 20 years. During those years, Lamro Ford has built a reputation of providing our customers a different car shopping experience. No pressure and no gimmicks. From our showroom to our parts department to our award-winning service department, we believe in complete customer satisfaction. Our only goal is to satisfy the customer. For a totally different car shopping experience, take advantage of our experience. Lamro Ford, Route 9, East Brookfield, where friends send their friends.
Assumption Greyhound basketball on WGMC TV3 is brought to you by Lamoureux Ford in East Brookfield and Fallon Healthcare System.
We're back to the Hound Pound, and right now it has not been friendly to the Hounds. They trail by 4, 15:54 remaining in the first half. We'll take a look at the big fellow, Raphael Badenshin, former Worcester Academy standout.
Raphael Badenshin, nice drop step there, goes strong to the basket. Good friends at Worcester Academy. Be pleased to see him do so well here.
Mickens breaks the press, and Mickens throws, and it is too far for Saavedra, and Assumption will take over. So Mickens was able to get away from the pressure initially, but then was still going a little out of control down on the offensive end and threw it just too far for Saavedra.
And Coach DeBarry changed the defense, come out with pressure, not only turn the ball over, maybe try to wake up the Greyhound team as they trail here 8-4.
Mancini checked by Mickens. Now it is Brian Moore. Cooper for 3, won't go. Petkus battling for the loose ball. And it is off of William Marks. Take a look
Cooper
at
has the wide open look at the 3. Pretty good rebounding action here. Petkus,
Cooper blocked.
Petkus and Marks. Cooper on the block.
Cooper just blocked by Jorge Garcia underneath. Now Mickens kicking it out for Saavedra. Back to Mickens. Mickens for 3, and he nails it. Rashawn Mickens making a living behind the arc.
Obviously, the Greyhounds are going to have to pay a little bit more attention to young Mickens.
Mickens only averaging a little over 14 a game. He has 9 very early here in the first half of play, all coming via the 3-pointers.
Actually, again, Mickens, nice follow through, nothing but net. 3 3-pointers, transfer from Wichita State.
Brant Calver now and Casey Carney in the game for the Hounds. Carney's 3-ball goes. Casey Carney is the pure shooter, but as you mentioned, now he's becoming a better scorer for the Hounds this season, and that is just what the doctor ordered for Serge DeBarry, to come up and hit the big 3, and Mickens answers.
Mickens has 4 3-pointers. Coach DeBarry talked this morning about trying to get Casey Carney a few more shots. Hasn't had many shots in the last couple of ball games.
Andy Niedzwiecki talking to Casey Carney as he came up the court. I think more about the defense than the offensive system there. And now Drew Cooper traveled with the basketball. So Cooper and Moore, who had huge nights on Wednesday, both are without a point thus far in the first half.
Most of the inside offense for Assumption has come from Petkus.
Miller now for Mickens. Inside to Marks. Marks checked by Calver. Back to Jorge Garcia, and a charging call taken by Casey Carney, and Garcia doesn't like it. But again, that is a Hounds trademark, taking the charging calls.
Watch this. Casey Carney does a real nice job as the offside help. Nice position. Garcia makes the offensive foul. Casey Carney, again known in high school for his great shooting ability, has improved his offense, and according to Coach DeBarry, is one of the most improved defensive players on the team.
We've seen him certainly, Joe, early on in the season, the 2 games we've covered, very willing to sacrifice the body and take the charges. Niedzwiecki now to Cooper. Drew spinning, looking for some help. He's bottled up and is stolen by Saavedra. Now Garcia has a man, and it is in and out. Marks looking to follow. Miller's miss, wouldn't go, but the Yellow Jackets still control. Saavedra now on the drive, pull up. Won't go, rebound by Cooper, and we are seeing some undisciplined basketball.
But the Yellow Jackets have come to play. They're playing very aggressively defensively, and they're going to both boards.
They have just assaulted the net here in the first half. Carney, pull up, will go. Casey Carney now quickly has 5 points, and the Hounds trail by 5, 14-9.
That's the example of Casey being able to put the ball on the floor to get his own shot.
Garcia now dribbles it off his foot, gets it back. Carney hits the floor, more now to Niedzwiecki. Assumption needs to control those loose balls on the floor if they are to climb back in this game. Brant Calver inside the lane, looked like his shot was altered a bit by Marks, and he misses. Yellow Jackets always look to push it up quickly. Now they'll settle it up.
Coach Johnson wants him to show a little bit more poise on offense. That's what he talked about with us this morning.
Andy Niedzwiecki called for the foul, a push on Saavedra. Niedzwiecki picking up his first personal foul of the game.
Niedzwiecki, they'll allow you as a guard to put a hand on slightly, but they won't allow you to direct the dribbler, and that's what Andy was doing there.
So he will check out of the game. Matt Brochu now from Nipmuc will check in. 6'5" freshman Brochu. And the Yellow Jackets again continuing to bomb from outside. Gainey misses, and Brad Mancini collecting the loose ball. Mancini to Brochu. Matt's first shot of the game won't go. Kept alive by Casey Carney, and he comes down with the ball. And now we're going to get a blocking call. Casey Carney getting the rebound, taking it strong right back at the hoop, and it is Saavedra.
Casey Carney, nice job on the offensive board here on the Brochu miss. Takes the ball back out and is going to try to go baseline here. Let's see whether or not the defense was moving. No question.
Brian Moore spotting up and getting his first 2 of the game.
Assumption College just does an outstanding job on their out-of-bounds plays underneath the basket.
That's what brought them right back in the game against Pace on Wednesday. The set plays from out of bounds, they were killing the setters. Matt Brochu keeping that alive as he tips it to Brian Moore. It's a bonus of having a guard that's 6'5". He can go underneath and grab some rebounds for you. Brian Moore throws it away, miscommunication with Carney.
AIC still an aggressive man-to-man. Brian Moore throws it away as Casey goes backdoor.
You are watching Assumption Basketball on WGMC TV3. We'll be back with more right after this.
My life has changed forever.
Will I never have to worry?
Will I have the freedom to do, to go, to be whatever I want?
Will I ever be a size 10?
What do we expect from our HMO? The perfect life? All we really want is a promise to let our doctor do her job. And if anyone in our family gets sick, make sure we can go to the best doctors and hospitals. Nobody delivers on that promise like Fallon, with benefits that redefine healthcare. Then there's Fallon's Peace of Mind program. It lets you self-refer to some of the world's most famous hospitals and specialists. No gatekeepers.
Will my smile like the sky?
Will I be around to see my great-grandchildren?
Ask your employer about all the benefits only Fallon offers. Or call Fallon.
We're back, everyone, and just a reminder, We will be broadcasting the ECAC Holiday Tournament at Holy Cross live this Sunday, beginning at 1 o'clock. We'll have the consolation game at 1 and the championship game at 3:30. Ryder and Brown and Seton Hall and Holy Cross. So be sure and stay tuned for more basketball action again this Sunday.
The Hounds have Brant Calver and Matt Brochu on the floor now. Coach Sabari is looking for more production from them from this 10-minute point on.
Assumption has turned the ball over 4 times in the early going here in the first half, and they trail by 3. Mickens, who's been deadly from outside, has 4 3-pointers to his credit, stolen by Moore. Casey Carney now with the ball.
Mancini made the deflection. Moore came up with the ball.
Moore came up with a huge steal, really to seal the deal in Wednesday's game against Pace, and ever alert on both ends of the floor. So the foul, the second of the game on Saavedra.
Actually, as I talked to Coach Johnson this morning, he talked about trying to contain Brian Moore and keep him off the foul line. He feels that he draws as many fouls as any player in the Northeast 10. Casey Carney drills another free throw.
Coming into the game, Casey Carney was a perfect 15 for 15 from the charity stripe. Now making it 16 of 16. Some substitutions now. AIC bringing their other senior, Reggie Carter, into the game. There are only 2 seniors on the roster for the Yellow Jackets, Mickens and Reggie Carter, and Carter's seeing his first action now.
Reggie Carter is an outstanding player. Again, he's a Division I transfer from New Orleans, and the AIC people think that he can be an outstanding offensive player.
Hounds in the middle of a 6-point run. They have climbed back into this ball game. They trail by 1, 14-13.
Hounds now in a half-court trap that falls back into a matchup zone.
Gainey for Mickens. Mickens checked by Cooper. Now to Garcia. Now to Carter. AIC working it around the 3-point perimeter. Carter's first shot is good. It's a 2-pointer. Reggie Carter averaging just under 15 points a game, picking up his first 2 of the ball game.
Carter and Mickens can both shoot the 3, and they both can put it on the floor. Matt Brochu with a big block by the big guy from Moscow.
Down the other end, some careless play offensively. Gainey was caught up in the air and tried to get it to Garcia. No good, but let's take a second look at that big block by Badenshin.
Nice look inside to Brochu. Nice head fake, but Badenshin all of a sudden becomes a SWAT team.
Brad Mancini now, and loses the ball to Mickens. It is loose. Brochu getting on the floor, and a great play by Matt Brochu. He dove and knocked the ball off of Mickens, and it will be Assumption basketball.
Nice hustle by Matt. He winds up knocking the ball off Mickens. He might have got away with a little bit of a foul, but certainly a great hustle play on his part.
Looked a little like an NFL kicker trying to make a tackle. Now Brochu with the ball. Adam Petkus back in the ball game for Assumption. Mancini's been the Iron Man. He has been in the game throughout, and he draws the foul, and that will be the second on Rashawn Mickens.
And that's the kind of foul we were talking about that Coach Johnson is most concerned about. It's just hands-on fouls with the guards when the dribbler is really under some kind of containment.
Yellow Jackets don't like to see Mickens getting in foul trouble, certainly with the hot hand that he's had today, already with 12 points.
All from 3-point territory.
So Guy Lodge is in the game replacing Mickens. Brad Mancini in and out on the free throw attempt, and it was off Badenshin, so it will remain Assumption basketball. Hounds trailing by 3. They have been great off these out of bounds plays, and it looks to continue, but now Drew Cooper had it in the block, spun around, lost it, and it goes off of AIC.
Assumption gets another chance of an out of bounds play underneath their own basket.
Foul 31, Garcia.
Garcia picking up his second personal foul off the inbounds play, and that's that holding beforehand and the hands-on defense.
Assumption shooting the 1-and-1, as you mentioned, Kevin, with 9:31 to go in the half. That's been a bit of a problem for AIC and one of the positives in the Greyhound arsenal over the course of this season.
Drew Cooper knocking down both free throw attempts coming into the game. He was a 41% shooter from the line.
Assumption in his own press, three-quarter court.
Mancini checking Gainey. Again, AIC likes to work it around the perimeter. They have not really gone inside too much to Badenshin. If they have, it's been off of a drive, not a set play where Badenshin gets position. They try to loop it into him.
And actually, this is a new emphasis in the AIC offense where they're trying to make sure that they make 2 and 3 passes before taking that hasty three-pointer.
Reggie Carter will inbounds the basketball for the Yellow Jackets. 6'3" senior from Elizabeth, New Jersey. Gainey, checked by Brochu. Now they go to Garcia. Garcia with Petkis on him, looked to get the running left-handed hook off. Casey Carney came to help out, but they're going to get Adam Petkis with the foul.
Garcia was the major offensive threat for the Yellow Jackets last year, both from three-point land and in the paint. Here he exercised a nice move from the paint. Adam Petkis got the reach-in foul. Garcia makes the first of 2.
You could see the expression on Serge's face, too. He could not believe that foul was called on Petkis. And Petkis was merely just playing position. It was Casey Carney who came in to help out with the reach. And they give it the foul to Petkis, and that's not what Serge likes to see, as he is their big man underneath. They don't list the center Assumption, but essentially when Petkis is in the game, he is their center. 3-point lead for AIC. Brochu, Carney, Cooper for 3, nails it. Drew Cooper coming off a 23-point performance on Wednesday, nailing the three-pointer. He has 5 on the night right now, and Assumption is dead even at 18.
Drew Cooper showing his versatility. He's really good, obviously, in the blue, but he also can sink the 3.
Gainey now, AIC trying to run a play.
Assumption in his zone, trying to see if they can make AIC be a little bit impatient, take a rush shot.
Yellow Jackets wanted the foul call there as Badenshin held the ball and got it smacked by Carney. The pull-up won't go for Gainey.
Zone was effective, caused AIC to take a hurried shot as the shot clock was running down. Here's a hurried shot with 3 seconds to go on the clock. Badenshin's going to go for the offensive rebound, come over the top. Winds up fouling. Is it Mancini, I think?
Yes, it is. Assumption right now in the middle of an 11-4 run, and with 8 minutes to go in the first half, already in the bonus.
1-1.
The Hounds have really turned it up here over the last 5 minutes. That is when they've been on a 12-4 run right now as Mancini gets his name in the books. First point of the night.
The Assumption guards, Mancini, Carney, and Nizwicki are terrific foul shooters.
Brad averaging 4.5 points a game. He knocks them both down, and Assumption takes the lead by 2, 20-18. Assumption 6 of 7 right now from the charity stripe. And we will take a break with the Hounds in front by 2. You are watching Assumption basketball on WGMC TV3.
Hi, I'm Lionel Lamro. It's hard to believe that we have been in business for a little over 20 years. During those years, Lamro Ford has built a reputation of providing our customers a different car shopping experience. No pressure and no gimmicks. From our showroom to our parts department to our award-winning service department, we believe in complete customer satisfaction. Our only goal is to satisfy the customer. For a totally different car shopping experience, take advantage of our experience. Lamro Ford, Route 9, East Brookfield, where friends send their friends.
At the conclusion of today's game, Joe and I will select the Flagship Bank player of the game. Flagship Bank will make a donation of $100 in that player's name to the Assumption College General Scholarship Fund. And over the first 2 games, we had Drew Cooper and Brian Moore, and Certainly, we could have flip-flopped those names in both games. Last game, it was Cooper. It very easily could have been Moore, and in the first game we did, it was Moore, and it very easily could have been Cooper.
You make a good point, Kevin. Hindsight is always 20/20. If we had it to do over again, I think we actually would have flip-flopped Moore and Cooper as the flagship player of the game in both of those contests.
See the young fans enjoying the game along with a little popcorn right here. Friday night special. Gainey now with the ball. Andy Niedzwiecki back in the game, checks in. Brad Mancini, who's been an Iron Man here in the first half, still in the game, marking up with Guy Lodge.
Assumption matched up man-to-man now.
AIC really just looks to free up their guards beyond the arc. Carter, in and out. Rebound by Mancini. He pushes to Calver. Now Assumption going to work something. Calver looking to post up down low on Marks. Brian Moore's shot won't go. Gainey to Carter. Carter gets Niedzwiecki in the air, pulls up, front rim, rebound Cooper. 7 minutes to go now in the first half. Hounds by 2. Brian Moore, Cooper both posting up on the blocks opposite each other. Cooper floater in the lane, front rim, tries to keep it alive. Carter picks it, and here come the Hounds. They'll run 2-on-1. Gainey takes it himself, won't go. Rebound by Calver, and he came down, lost control with it. It hit the line, and it will stay Yellow Jacket basketball.
Niedzwiecki did a nice job of getting good position defensively, wound up distracting Gainey. Gainey was not able to finish the fast break drive.
Jorge Garcia back in the game, replacing Reggie Carter, and Garcia leads the Yellow Jackets in rebounds, just over 6 a game. They go inside to Marks. Nice out-of-bounds play by the Yellow Jackets.
Marks, known more as a shot blocker and a rebounder than as a scorer, had a good year last year for the Yellow Jackets, one of the leading shot blockers in the NE10.
Brent Calver's first shot won't go. Rebound by AIC. Gainey. And we're going to get steps on Charles Miller.
Both coaches described Miller as a wide body, and he's certainly all of that. Took a couple of extra steps there.
Reminds me of Oliver Miller, of the NBA fame.
Not quite that big, but he was at one time, I guess, about 255 pounds. He's down to about 230.
Mancini inside to Calver. Calver drawing the foul.
AIC has made a conscious effort to try to keep Moore from being able to dominate in the paint, and so far they've been very effective, but it's opened some other things for Petkus, and in this case now Calver.
Calver at the line will be shooting 2.
So Brant Calver at the line, the junior from Dallas, Texas. Calver knocking down the first free throw attempt.
Coach DeBarry expecting big things from Brandt, but whenever we talk, he always refers to him as a junior body with freshman experience. Brandt getting valuable minutes here in the first 6 games, now the 7th game.
He's certainly missed some time throughout his career with injuries, including entire seasons. 5:53 remaining now in the first half. 21-20 Assumption. Garcia for 3. Won't go. Rebound by Moore. And I think one of the keys to this game will certainly be how well Assumption shoots from the line, as they were in the bonus very early in this half, and I'm sure that that will continue in the second half of play, and they will have a lot of shots from the charity stripe.
Brian Moore is having one of those nights where he's just trying to force everything a little bit. Took a radical shot early in the game. Tried to do a little bit too much with his feet there on a foot fake.
Gainey hemmed in along the side, now gets help in the form of Garcia. Miller. The Jackets swinging it around the perimeter. And they don't really seem, Joe, to try to establish any position down low. You don't have a player getting down on the blocks and actually calling for the ball. Marks gets the rebound there, putback won't go, and now he's going to be fouled. But even Marks was standing up at the top of the key at the elbow for a long time, and then just slipped down there
Their
for the shot.
Their offense is predicated on swinging the ball on the perimeter. It's Garcia with the up and down jumper. Nice offensive rebound. Assumption foul. There it is.
And the Yellow Jackets
the fouler,
have the size with Marks at 6'7", Badenshin at 6'11", and Miller as well, another wide body for them.
But they would all look at themselves as forwards also. Nice feed from Marks.
Charles Miller getting his first 2 of the ball game. Brian Moore now working on Miller down the other end. Nice move. That's Moore's bread and butter, to back him in, spin around, get some distance between himself and the defender. In that case, he knocked Miller down.
As he did there, he has to allow the offense to come to him rather than try to force it.
Carter looked at the 3, thought better of it. Garcia, Gainey for 3, won't go, bad miss. It's a scramble for the ball. Marks picks it up and puts it in.
Opportunist basket for Willie Marks.
William Marks, kind of like Phil Esposito, just picking up the garbage and putting it back home. Casey Carney off the dribble, jumper won't go, rebound by Carter. Carter with Gainey to his right. Carter for 3, nails it. Reggie Carter has 5, and AIC has a 4-point lead.
The AIC people were right on this morning when they talked about the ability of Carter to come in off the bench and to score.
Serge DeBarry wants a timeout. He gets one. We will take one as well. With our score, AIC 27. We will stay around as the Hounds down by 4, looking to stay around in this ball game. 3:47 left in the game, and Marks has 4 points, and they've all come off rebounds.
And I'm sure Serge is talking about the defense, whether it's man-to-man or zone, concentrating on getting out on the 3-point shooters, Rashawn Mickens and Reggie Carter.
We'll take a look at that hoop by Reggie Carter, the last one a 3-pointer, and Carter averaging 14.5 points a game, one of 2 seniors on this Yellow Jacket squad. A dead eye from beyond the arc.
Just can't give him that kind of a open look.
You can see Serge talking on the bench there with Brian Moore, patting him on the head, saying we certainly need you in this game. Stay with us. AIC right now on a 9-3 run. We've seen a couple streaks from both teams in this game. Brochu for 3, won't go. Rebound fought for it. Brochu picks it back up. Now to Drew Cooper. Cooper can't get it to go. Carney crashing the boards, and it's taken by Gainey. Gainey with numbers, kicks it out for Carter. Carter just nails his second 3 in a row.
Nice fast break swing of the ball by AIC. Carter nails another 3.
Carter has 8, and the Yellow Jackets have a 7-point lead. Nitzwicki.
Assumption has not been able to establish an inside game where they can take advantage of being in the 1-on-1, the bonus.
Nitzwicki for 3, won't go, rebound by Cooper. Cooper blocked by Marks, gets his own rebound, looking for help, tries to get the shot off, does, and gets a foul. And Cooper with that Cedric Maxwell-like moves, he's the rubber band man in there.
AIC foul number 50, William Marks.
He was intent on drawing the foul on 2 distinct opportunities. Without question, he draws it there.
He just finds a little opening and he slides through there. He's got the long arms.
Again, he's got 4 arms there, but he still manages to get the ball up and draw the 2-shot foul.
And we want to congratulate Drew Cooper in Wednesday's game against Pace University. Cooper moving to 10th place on the all-time Assumption scoring list as he leapfrogs his coach, Serge DeBarry. Drew now has 1,515 points for his career, and has a few more as he gets 1 of 2 free throw attempts. Coop has 6 points on the night, and we will now take a break from the Alaska Gymnasium with the score AIC 30 and Assumption 24.
My life has changed forever.
Will I never have to worry?
Will I have the freedom to do, to go, to be whatever I want?
Will I ever be a size 10?
What should we expect from our HMO? The perfect life? All we really want is a promise, to let our doctor do her job. And if anyone in our family gets sick, make sure we can go to the best doctors and hospitals. Nobody delivers on that promise like Fallon, with benefits that redefine healthcare. Then there's Fallon's Peace of Mind program. It lets you self-refer to some of the world's most famous hospitals and specialists. No gatekeepers.
Will my smile like the sky?
Will I be around to see my great-grandchildren?
Ask your employer about all the benefits only Fallon offers. Or call Fallon.
We're back, everyone, as we take a look at Reggie Carter draining the threes, a 43% shooter from beyond the arc.
And people have to understand, on the fast break, you're looking first for the layup, but if it's not there, you're swinging to the weak side and try to find someone such as Reggie Carter for the three.
Niedzwiecki pressuring Gainey. Ball goes out of bounds off Andy. It will remain in AIC's possession. Aic Buchanan inbounds in the ball. Now it is Carter. Carter has hit his last 2 shots, both three-pointers. Eggy into Garcia. Garcia spinning, gets a shot blocked, gets his own rebound. Garcia gets fouled on the putback. So the leading rebounder for the Yellow Jackets, Jorge Garcia, showing some yeoman's work underneath, picking up his own miss a few times.
And Jorge Garcia here, he shows you don't have to be a great leaper, you just have to have will. He goes after it very, very aggressively. Draws the foul, I think it was on Drew.
He is the captain of this Yellow Jacket squad, is Garcia, as he hits his 3rd free throw attempt of the night. He has 3 points, all coming from the charity stripe.
He was a bit of a one-man offensive show last year. The addition of Mickens and Carter to the backcourt are going to be a big plus for this AIC team.
They certainly have helped with Garcia. Averages over 11 points a game, but as we mentioned, he's their leading rebounder with 6 boards a game, and he steps out of the game right now with 2:15 remaining. And the Yellow Jackets enjoying an 8-point advantage, 32-24.
Badenshin reports back in, the big 6'11" center for the Yellow Jackets.
Niedzwiecki on the drive, kicks it back out to Coop. Coop front rims the three-pointer. AIC right now, since the 8-minute mark, has gone on a 14-4 run. Make it 17-4. Reggie Carter, his 3rd 3 of the ball game.
Carter and Mickens show they have 7 3-pointers between them.
Cooper now to Niedzwiecki, and time winding down here in the first half. Assumption looking to get a few points here and get something going in the positive mode. Great look underneath. Andy Niedzwiecki got the threes in the air and hit Petkus.
Nice delivery. Good catch by Petkus, and drops in the 2.
And if your assumption right now, I think, concerns DeBarra, you're calling for some tough defense. You just want 2 strong defensive holds here before the half. Hounds trailing by 9.
9 points down. You'd settle for 5 at the half.
Carter, who's been on fire from 3-point range. Now we get a foul on Miller. Miller was working with Drew Cooper, trying to get position. Charles Miller gets called for the push.
Push and a push there, Miller and Drew Cooper, but the last guy always gets caught. Nice penetration here by Andy Niedzwiecki, and what's a great feed to Adam Petkus underneath.
Great vision. Not very easy to look around Badenshin at 6'11" and 230, but he did that.
And to see it is one thing, to be able to deliver it as he did right on the money to Adam is another.
Cooper hits the first of his free throw attempts, the 1-on-1 situation.
Coach DeBarra, a look of consternation.
Drew nails them both. So the Yellow Jackets have 8 turnovers here in the first half, but it hasn't seemed to really hurt them that much as they lead the ball game. Lodge on the drive, gets it to go. Guy Lodge chipping in with his first 2 of the game, and it is a 37-28 AIC lead.
Quickness and athleticism of the AIC guards, plus their 3-point shooting, has been the difference.
Good save by Niedzwiecki. Cooper drives, draws the foul, gets the shot off, won't go. The foul will go on Aic.
Assumption really has not been able to milk the bonus opportunities. They've had the 1-and-1 since the 9-minute mark of the first half.
Cooper at the line will be shooting 2.
Cooper knocking down the first free throw attempt.
Look for Assumption to come full court pressure here, see if they can get a turnover and another basket.
Group has 9 points here in the first half, and Rashawn Mickens checking back into the game for AIC. Guy Lodge will step out. So now we're going to see 2 3-point threats out there for the Yellow Jackets. Mickens has 4 in this game, and Carter has 3. Coop missing the second, so the AIC lead is 8, but a rebound by Adam Petkus. It's big. Cooper for 3. And Drew Cooper making the Yellow Jackets pay and making Adam Petkus' work pay off.
Big offensive rebound by Adam Petkus. Coach DeBarry would be more than happy to get down locker room only down 5 points.
Garcia is going to be fouled by Petkus outside.
31, Adam Petkus, that is his second personal.
We're going to see the 3-pointer here by Drew Cooper, but what we didn't see is the great job that Adam Petkus did to keep the ball alive in that offensive foray there.
Petkus is really a lunch pail player. A lot of his work goes unheralded, but he just gets down there with the blue-collar work ethic and just bangs down low. And he may not get all the points and all the attention that a Drew Cooper or Brian Moore gets, but he is every bit as important to this team.
And he gets the difficult job every game of playing the 6'9", 6'10", tonight 6'11" center on another club. And while he has the will of a center, he has the body of a forward.
In the last minute of play, Assumption has gone on an 8-2 run that has seen them climb back in the ball game. They trail by 5, and you mentioned going down at the break by 5 certainly wouldn't be that bad, as after looking at a 9-point deficit with a minute to go.
Assumption took its first lead at the 8-minute mark at 20-18, and since then AIC has dominated fast break and 3-point shots.
Andy Johnston looking on and watching the set play from out of bounds. Gainey looking to go one-on-one. Mickens for 3, won't go. Badenshin got a hand on the rebound. Cooper gets it, last-ditch effort. It is off the board, no good. So after 20 minutes of play, AIC coming in with a 1-5 record, but they have the lead, 37-32, and Serge walking off. He will have a few things to say to his team. We will take a break and be back with more halftime activities right after this.
Hi, I'm Lionel Lamro. It's hard to believe that we have been in business for a little over 20 years. During those years, Lamro Ford has built a reputation of providing our customers a different car shopping experience. No pressure and no gimmicks. From our showroom to our parts department to our award-winning service department, we believe in complete customer satisfaction. Our only goal is to satisfy the customer. For a totally different car shopping experience, take advantage of our experience. Lamro Ford, Route 9, East Brookfield, where friends send their friends.
Welcome to a land of law, a place ruled by the dinosaur, where cactus-clad mountains spew lava and smoke and craters hide inquisitive folk, where wise old turtles share their views on creatures with red vests and powder blue shoes. There's so much to Galapagos, so much we could say. 'Twould be most preposterous if it all went away.
What do you want to leave your children, the story or the place that inspired it? Since 1961, World Wildlife Fund has helped safeguard thousands of species like these. Animals which can be found nowhere else on Earth. But in areas like the Galapagos Islands, we need your help to do more. Phone us at 1-800-CALL-WWF to find out about World Wildlife Fund's Living Planet campaign and about our free action kit, which includes information on what you can pledge to do to help leave our children a living planet.
years ago. Everyone was running. I started running too. A grown-up told me that it would be okay. Then I saw her.
60,000 disasters a year all come down to one single terrible moment for someone. Call now, because help can't wait.
We're back, everyone, to halftime inside the Alaska Gymnasium. AIC in front by 5, 37-32. And what we've seen in the early going, Joe, certainly has been not the height advantage working to AIC's favor, but the outside play of Carl and Mickens. They've been deadly from beyond the arc.
As we mentioned in the opening, they're a time bomb waiting to go off, and 7 3-pointers from those two players, Mickens and Cotter, is the difference in the first half.
They have combined for 23 points. Adam Petkus for Assumption has been a big hound for them underneath, and he has 6 points in the first half, and we're going to take a look at him just working down low, and that's a product of a great drive. Nice feed from Brad Mancini, good penetration, nice look to Adam. Adam finishes it off. And now, of course, the opposite side of the spectrum there has been Rashawn Mickens. As you mentioned, the 4 3-pointers, he has certainly torn it up from beyond the arc. And that's one of the things coming into the game that they had talked about AIC and the coaching staff, a streaky team. They're not afraid to certainly put up the 3, and they actually look for it and set their offense accordingly. And Coach DeBarry said that was the concern that he would have, trying to get out on the outside shooters, both Mickens and Carter. They're a little bit slow getting out to Carter there, or Mickens as he drills his third three-pointer of the half at that time. For Assumption, really, it's been a streaky game. They came out, they got behind, they made the big run, then they stepped in front, and then AIC came right back, and it was behind the hot shooting of Carter and Mickens that they were able to kind of pull away, and then right near the end of the half, Assumption reeled it in with an 8-2 run with a minute to go. Good defense, good hustle on the part of the Hounds over the course of that last minute to cut a 9-point lead to 5. And we're going to look at William Marks underneath. And Marks, as we mentioned, the Esposito of this team. He's kind of been picking up the garbage, and he gets the feed right in the lane right there and goes up for an easy 2. Garcia, nice feed. Marks, a nice cut. AIC executed its out-of-bounds play just about the way coaches draw them. Casey Carney coming off the bench for the Hounds has 7 points. He is second in Assumption in scoring. Drew Cooper led the way with 12 points, and he also did some work on the boards with 8 rebounds, leading Assumption in that department. One of the concerns that I had coming into this game is that Casey Carney has not been able to get up many shots. It's not that he hasn't been shooting well, he just hasn't been able to get any shots up. And that can be frustrating for a player as well, because a player like Carney, of his abilities, he's used to putting up the high numbers offensively. He came in, had a quick 3-pointer, and then he had another deuce off his own dribble move. Now we're going to take a look at Brian Moore, and Moore relatively quiet here in the first half. He had only 4 points coming off that 30-point effort against Pace, but this is his bread and butter. Moore taking it to the basket, fakes very well, and is always able to finish it off as he does there. During the earlier part of the half prior to that basket, he had been probably rushing his offense just a little bit, not waiting for the offense to come to him. And Brian does a good job, certainly, too, of using his body. He gets down low, as you saw there, back players in, get them off bounds, use an up fake, spin around, and their opponent, a lot of times, he just even knocks the player down as he did there, and he's got the clear path. The AIC staff this morning stressed that their defensive philosophy was going to center on trying to keep Moore from dominating in the paint, and they've done a pretty effective job so far. They've also done a pretty good job of getting Reggie Carter free on the perimeter. Carter's hit for 3 3-pointers, and he has 11 points here in the first half. Carter, another one of those Division I transfers, and you just can't give them that kind of a look for the 3-pointer, because he'll drill them all night. Well, there you go. So we have 20 minutes in the book, and AIC is in front 37-32. We'll be back with more halftime activities right after this.
Hi, I'm Lionel Lamro. It's hard to believe that we have been in business for a little over 20 years. During those years, Lamro Ford has built a reputation of providing our customers a different car shopping experience. No pressure and no gimmicks. From our showroom to our parts department to our award-winning service department, we believe in complete customer satisfaction. Our only goal is to satisfy the customer. For a totally different car shopping experience, take advantage of our experience. Lamro Ford, Route 9, East Brookfield, where friends send their friends.
Hi, Mike.
Hi. Sorry I'm late.
Come on in. Everybody, this is Mike.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, it's so nice to have you here. Cool. I hope you like pot roast. That's
Great to have you here. Yeah.
Are you okay?
Alone.
If you're not cool already, smoking won't help. And if you are cool, you don't need it.
Hi, I'm Gates McFadden.
And I'm Michael Dorn.
On Star Trek The Next Generation, I play Dr. Beverly Crusher. Computer, emergency entry, Chief Medical Officer Beverly Crusher.
And I play Worf, the Klingon. Worf to Enterprise.
Go ahead, sir.
Beam me up.
Our movie's special effects are light years ahead of the original televised Star Trek. But we both share the same vision of a future, where education and advancing technology have dramatically improved human and alien life throughout the galaxies.
Education can improve your life, too. You'll have a positive future filled with opportunities. So stay in school and graduate.
Engage.
This message brought to you by the U.S. Air Force, because we know the value of a good education.
You chose to trespass on the railroad tracks. This is the next 60 seconds of your life. A message from Operation Lifesaver.
We're back, everyone. Look at the halftime statistics, and the numbers that jumped out to us, certainly the field goal percentage for Assumption, they're shooting at 32%. Meanwhile, AIC at 46%. What you don't see there is the three-point percentage, and the Yellow Jackets are hitting at 64% from behind the arc.
Poor field goal percentage of Assumption. Both teams had 28 attempts from the floor. AIC shooting very well. Assumption just not able to put down the shot from the perimeter.
AIC with the rebounding advantage as well in the first half of play. Cooper misses. Gainey gets the board. Aggie now to Garcia. Rashawn Mickens. Mickens has not scored since 14:36 of the first period. He came out, he was on fire, had 4 threes, but since then has not really gotten an opportunity to pull one up. Nice moves down low by Badenshin.
Badenshin more of an offensive factor in the first minute of the second half than he was the entire first half.
He worked himself free for the shot he wanted. Cooper now looking for more inside. Ryan being checked by Eggy. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
AIC continues to do a good job of keeping Brian Moore from dominating in the paint, where he usually is able to perform so well. Bad pass there by Niswicki.
And Serge just looked at Andy after the pass and said, all right, calm down. We still have an entire half to play. Let's not panic early. Yellow Jackets by 7.
Assumption man-to-man defense. They did do a better job on Mickens as we went through the half. Carter coming off the bench did a great job. Good offensive rebound there by Eggy.
The follow off of Mickens' shot, and quickly Assumption will call for and get the timeout as the Yellow Jackets have scored the first 4 points here of the second half. And what do you say if you're Surge right now to your team?
Well, you say, what did we talk about at the half? Certainly it was to come out and play with a little bit more intensity, and so far in the first 2 minutes, AIC has dominated the game. You would have thought that the Greyhounds would use the home court advantage and halftime to regroup themselves and to come out and be a little bit more aggressive. I'm sure that's what he's talking about.
Nothing comforting about this, too, from Surge's standpoint, seeing Mickens miss and then the Hounds giving up the offensive rebound.
Petkus, Moore, and Cooper have not been as dominant in the defensive rebounding as they usually are.
The first half, Cooper led the Hounds with 8 boards. Bryan was relatively quiet on both ends, and Moore getting his first 2 points here of the second half. He has 6 for the game, and that was one of the keys we mentioned at halftime, is getting Bryan Moore more involved in this game.
I'm sure that's one of the things that Surge talked about at the timeout also, and wound up trying to run something to him, and Moore came up with the basket.
Badenshin now to Garcia. And we're going to get a foul. This one maybe on Badenshin. Up top, trying to fight his way down into the lane.
Badenshin trying to set up some kind of a pick opportunity, wound up knocking over the little guy, Niezwicki. Niezwicki, a little bit of a Shakespearean player there.
Hounds trail it by 7. Cooper goes inside to Moore. Bryan Moore trying to establish himself early here, and he draws the foul on Aic, and that will be his 3rd personal foul.
And there's no question that Coach DeBarry made that change at the halftime, where they're going to try to emphasize getting more inside in the paint, where he does so well. Uses his feet, uses a nice head fake, draws the foul. 2-shot opportunity here.
I think they missed a foul there early. So Moore will be at the line. They've only given him 2 fouls. Bryan knocks down the first one.
Moore didn't have his shooting repertoire at the foul line in sync the other night. Looks a little bit better tonight here at the foul line.
Miller checks into the game now. Aic checking out, and Bryan knocking both free throw attempts down.
Assumption extended, full court pressure.
The Hounds are now 13 of 17 from the line. One of the points that certainly could come down to play at the end of the ball game. AIC has that penchant for fouling, but Badenshin has come out here and looked like a completely different offensive player.
Tommy Blackburn and the Worcester Academy people are cheering on their ex-player.
Now we get a foul on Brad Mancini on the offensive end, but we'll take another look at
Petkus playing behind Badenson here. Nice move towards the baseline, and then a semi-half hook. Nothing but net.
Garcia now out there with Mickens. Both deep threats. They go into Badenshin again, and he misses the first one, gets his own rebound though. And draws a foul.
Reach-in foul. I think it probably was Drew Cooper.
Badenshin playing with a lot more fire this half as Drew Cooper picks up his 2nd personal foul on the rebound.
AIC trying to establish Badenson a little bit more offensively here, and he pursues the ball very well. Cooper over the top with the reach-in foul. To their credit, the AIC Yellow Jackets have been much more poised and patient on offense than they have been able to be through their first 6 ball games.
The sophomore center from Russia knocks both free throw attempts down. Badenshin now has 8 points, 6 of them here in the second half. Drew Cooper off the spin move.
Cooper as only he can, as you call it, the Cedric Maxwell, Kevin McHale kind of moves, and he still delivers it with the left hand.
And now the Hounds cause the turnover. Mancini picks it up. Looks inside to Cooper. Cooper gets the easy 2.
Great feed, Brad Mancini. Good look, good delivery.
Good play start to finish there by Mancini, the sophomore from Sutton, Massachusetts, and nearby St. Peter Marian High School. And now we'll get a foul on Andy Niezwicki as he was reaching in on Badenshin.
We're going to see Cooper come up with the layup here, but it's a great feed by Mancini that develops it for the Hounds. Mancini was also involved in the defensive part of that in the steal.
Assumption trailing by 5. And great defensive pressure by Assumption off the inbounds. Garcia had nowhere to go. He waited too long. It is a turnover. And Assumption will take over.
5-second call. Have to have someone on the court touch the ball within 5 seconds from the time that the ref hands the player the ball out of bounds. 3
early turnovers here in the second half for the Yellow Jackets. And that's something certainly that Serge DeBarry and his crew like to see. Put the pressure on, create the turnovers, and let's start a run. And now Drew Cooper drawing the foul. He will go to the line to shoot 2.
Assumption, after having the poor first half shooting, has certainly determined to establish an inside game with Moore and Cooper both trying to get to position on the blocks.
Coop front rims the first foul, or free throw attempt rather. It is the 3rd personal foul on Jorge Garcia, so Garcia is in foul trouble early on here in the second half for AIC. The only player in the game now with 3 fouls. Cooper knocks down the second one. It is a 4-point ball game.
Assumption in a full court pressure. Moore.
Almost a great steal by Brian Moore.
Run and jump move by Brian Moore, almost came up with the ball.
And now they do force Mickens into the corner. It is another turnover, the 4th for the Yellow Jackets. And since the timeout, Assumption has gone on a 9-4 run.
And the pressure doesn't always come up with the actual turnover where you steal the ball, but if you can just force them to do something they're not interested in doing. Moore almost comes up with the steal here, and then we're going to see down at the other end, they're going to force the one-on-one opportunity. AIC player steps out of bounds.
Drew Cooper has scored the last 5 Assumption points here. Niedzwiecki for 3, bingo! Andy Niedzwiecki for 3, and if he can bury that, that will open things up down low for the likes of Cooper, Moore, and Petkus.
Niedzwiecki had missed his first 2 opportunities in the first half, but certainly found nothing but net on that 3-point shot.
Miller's shot won't go. Assumption trailing by 1 with a chance to take the lead. Brian Moore trying to get it inside to Coop, does so. Cooper misses the first, gets his own rebound, and draws the foul.
Moore, great feed. Cooper not able to deliver it the way he usually does, but real aggressive on the offensive rebound. Nice feed by Brian Moore. Cooper normally now makes a good fake here and is able to deliver that, but he still pursues his miss, goes to the offensive board, draws the foul. 2 shots. Drew Cooper. Chance to take the lead for the Hounds.
Misses the first free throw attempt, so Coop having a little difficulty here. His last couple trips to the charity stripe. He can tie the ball game up at 45 with this one. And he does so. So Cooper hits 1 of 2 free throw attempts. And we are all knotted up at 45 with 15:10 remaining. We'll be back with more right after this.
My life has changed forever.
Will I never have to worry?
Will I have the freedom to do, to go, to be whatever I want?
Will I ever be a size 10?
What do we expect from our HMO? The perfect life? All we really want is a promise to let our doctor do her job. And if anyone in our family gets sick, make sure we can go to the best doctors and hospitals. Nobody delivers on that promise like Fallon, with benefits that redefine healthcare. Then there's Fallon's Peace of Mind program. It lets you self-refer to some of the world's most famous hospitals and specialists. No gatekeepers.
Will my smile like the sky?
Will I be around to see my great-grandchildren?
Ask your employer about all the benefits only Fallon offers. Or call Fallon.
Assumption Greyhound basketball on WGMC TV3 is brought to you by Fallon Healthcare System and Lamoureux Ford in East Brookfield.
We're back. Yellow Jacket basketball. They have been outscored 13-8 here in the second half.
Assumption has upped the tempo of its defense with a little bit of full court pressure, now aggressive man-to-man.
Since Serge Tabari took that timeout in the opening minute of the second half, the Hounds have gone on a 13-4 run. And now Marks looking to go up with it. Mancini thought he stripped it clean. The officials thought otherwise.
Two things happened since that timeout. Assumption has taken the ball and gone inside to Cooper and Moore, and they've extended the defense and been a little bit more aggressive on that end of the floor. Certainly been effective, both moves.
William Marks with 2 from the line. First one goes in and out. Takes a shot from his teammate Reggie Carter. Now Casey Carney checking in the game for Mancini. Mancini picking up his second personal foul of the ball game. Marks hits 1 of 2, and the Yellow Jackets have the lead back, 46-45. Under 15 minutes remaining in the game. Carney looking to post up. Niedzwiecki off the pick. Gets it to Coop. Coop trying to get a screen, and he turns it over as he tried to get it inside to Petkis. And now it was last touched by Andy Niedzwiecki as he dove for the basketball. Terrific hustle here, and Assumption almost had one going the other way.
Great hustle. Looked as though Andy had come up with the steal. He got his hand on the ball there, made the hustle move.
His own teammate there, actually, Coop, kind of knocked it back into him.
He and Coop ricocheted it out of bounds.
Saavedra now running the show for the Yellow Jackets.
Assumption man-to-man defense, trying to pay attention to Mickens and Carter when he comes into the ball game.
They get it inside to Miller. Miller guarded by Cooper. Adam Petkis just came over and blocked the shot. Great defensive help by Petkis.
Nice defensive position, Cooper, and great offside help from Adam Petkis. Good team defense.
Last time AIC had to inbounds the ball into the hoop, they had trouble. This time they get it in cleanly. It is Mickens. Mickens goes strong to the hoop, draws the foul, and gets one.
Mickens shows us that he not only can drain the three-pointer, but he can put the ball on the floor, take it baseline to the basket.
And Adam Petkis just had an incredulous look on his face.
Actually, Mickens able to drive the baseline, draw the foul, has a chance here now for a conventional three-pointer.
Cooper was looking to pick up the charge on that play, and I think that's what Petkis was looking at the referees in regards to.
I think what happened is Cooper and Petkis sandwiched him, and the refs didn't really know who made the foul.
So Mickens completes the three-point play. One way or another, he's going to get 3 every time he gets his hands on the ball. And AIC is up by 4. Mickens has 4 three-pointers and 1 three-point play. And now we get a foul as Drew Cooper lights up the Hound Pound with a little shot you might see in horse.
Carter actually holding Drew Cooper as he was trying to cut from the weak side.
Now there's some confusion amongst the AIC ranks, and now Mickens will step out.
6 against 5 is illegal.
Tipped, and Adam Petkis almost had it. I don't know if that was a design play. It looked like it was tipped right up in the air.
I think it was.
Petkis grabbed it and almost had it. Moore now dribbles it. It goes off his knee, goes on inside to Petkis. Adam Petkis is really turning into a fine offensive threat for the Hounds.
Petkis gets the deuce. Credit Moore for the basket, though.
It is a 2-point ball game. Yellow Jackets up 49-47.
Assumption playing aggressive man-to-man.
Garcia for 3. Cooper got a piece of it. Now Cooper has the ball back in his hands. He's got Carney. Carney for 3. Won't go. Rebound by Saavedra. Saavedra pressured by Niedzwiecki. Nice look inside by Saavedra, and I think Marks just was not expecting it.
Garcia, an ill-advised 3. Matched by Carney's ill-advised 3. Turnover Saavedra, ball back to the Greyhounds.
Assumption can tie with a field goal, go ahead with a 3. Gainey back in the ball game now for the Yellow Jackets, as is Mancini for the Hounds and Brant Calver. Seeing his first action of the second half. Calver strong to the hoop. Tips up his own rebound. Won't go. Gets another rebound now as Moore kept it alive. Mancini spots up. Won't go. And Marks takes it away for the Jackets, and they've got numbers. Carter. Pull up. Won't go. Rebound by Moore. And we've got a track meet going on. Carney for three. Won't go. Rebound Marks. He pushes to Gainey. Gainey wants to push. Carter wants it upstairs. Gets it on the bounce pass. He misses. Great defense by Casey Carney as he had himself in position again to take the charge. And he forced Carter to alter his shot a little bit.
Carney missed the three at one end, but wound up playing very good defense on the AIC fast break. Here he's in trying to draw the charge. Causes to disconcert the shooter. He's not able to make the layup.
It is still a 2-point lead for the Yellow Jackets. Brian Moore steps as he tried to drive into the hole.
For young players watching, if you're going to fake with a foot, you have to lead with that foot. If you fake with the foot and go with the other foot, it's a travel.
And we'll take a timeout on the floor with exactly 12 minutes remaining in the ball game, and the Yellow Jackets clinging to a 49-47 lead.
Hi, I'm Lionel Lamro. It's hard to believe that we have been in business for a little over 20 years. During those years, Lamro Ford has built a reputation of providing our customers a different car shopping experience. No pressure and no gimmicks. From our showroom to our parts department to our award-winning service department, we believe in complete customer satisfaction. Our only goal is to satisfy the customer. For a totally different car shopping experience, take advantage of our experience. Lamro Ford, Route 9, East Brookfield, where friends send their friends.
I gotta tell you, I eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff. I played lacrosse and football in high school and lacrosse in college, so I think I know what the athletes are thinking out there. It's sports, man. You gotta feel it. For the best in local and pro sports, Worcester County, stick around to Newswatch 3.
We're back, and some of the young Hound fans fired up in the Hound Pound. They can continue to come back here. That section will stay strong for years to come.
They have at least 20 years ahead of them.
Always nice to see the young kids taking in good college basketball action. And they are being treated to a dandy tonight. 49-47 AIC. Under 12 minutes remaining in the game. Badenshin turnaround won't go. Tipped up. Eggy got 2 or 3 swats at it. Carney tries to save it and got it trapped on his hip pocket.
Actually lost his footing. He really wasn't trying to dive after that one. He had an opportunity to take that down the sideline.
So AIC really pounding the boards right there. It was mainly Eggy had 2 or 3 touches on the ball. Some of the crowd and people wanted an over the back call. They didn't get it. Now we're going to get a foul as Gainey drives. And it is Brad Mancini who will be whistled for his 3rd personal foul.
His 3rd personal 16 foul.
Mancini on the reach in.
Again, the Yellow Jackets trouble inbounding the ball. They do have it though. Garcia for 3, misses wildly with an air ball. Rebound, Eggy. Eggy goes up strong, too strong. Rebound by Moore.
AIC's big men have become more involved in the offense here in the second half.
Calver dribbled it off his foot, lost it. Now it's still on the floor. Moore going for it, and Moore's going to be called for the fouls. He kind of held Gainey up. Moore went for the ball, realized he wasn't going to get it. He tried to kind of just shield Gainey from getting it.
This is what we described in the first half as rugby, if you will, when the ball goes on the floor. Moore definitely holds off the AIC player, Moore the fouler.
Tried to kind of hook the leg of Gainey there as he went down.
We have a flip-flop here, though, in the second half now with 11 minutes to go in the second half. AIC in the bonus.
The Yellow Jackets have been very strong from the line in this game. So right now it looks to play into the strength of AIC. They are 9 of 8 from the free throw, 9 of 10 rather from the free throw line. That would be something if they were 9 of 8.
Einstein can't make that math work, Kevin.
Gainey nails them both. And now the Yellow Jackets lead is to 12-4. Assumption working it around the perimeter and trying to get it inside to the big guys. Brochu does to Cooper. Cooper hit by Garcia as he turned around. He got the shot off wisely, and that's one of the things Drew Cooper does so effectively. He knows when he's going to get fouled, and he gets a shot away, so he's going to go to the line for 2.
And even from impossible angles such as that, he's able to get up an opportunity to basket where the refs have to give him 2 shots.
And he sinks the first one.
He's been front rimming his foul shots a little bit here in this ball game. He had that one nice over the top.
He has 9 points alone from the free throw line.
Foul shooting.
19 overall.
Foul shooting comes down to using the legs, making sure you have a nice arc on the ball. There's a nice arc.
You see certainly later in a game where players can start to front rim those too when they get tired. Guy Lodge.
AIC trying to establish Badenshin on the block a little bit more this half.
Now the big fella takes it up top, and that is a size mismatch. He's on Calvert. Mickens is going to draw the foul, and that one will go on Mancini, and that will be Brad's 4th personal foul. So Mancini now will be walking a tightrope when he's out there with 10:26 remaining. He picks up his 4th, and he will check out. Casey Carney checking in. Adam Petkus checking in now.
Ed Billick, the chairman of the Rules Committee, met with me the other day, and he said that the referees are going to call that hand checking by the guards a little bit more closely this year. That's what happened to Brad Mancini there.
The last 2 times down the floor, he has been called for those. Mickens missing. It was tipped by AIC last, so it will be Assumption basketball.
Mickens can only make it from the 3-point land. He can't make it from the free throw line.
7th team foul.
See if Cooper still has his legs here and has the arc on the foul shot.
Saavedra's 3rd personal foul. Coop gets the lean, a little body English at the line. If it works.
Shooter's roll.
He can tie the ball game up right now. And he does it. He knew he hit that one right when he released it. So Drew Cooper has evened the score at 51 all. Coop has 10 points in this half. Lodge to Saavedra. Badenshin up top. Assumption would like to see him handle the ball up there and keep him out of the low post.
He's not going to hurt you from the top of the key. AIC very patient in their offense. It's showing more poise than they've showed all season.
Saavedra, great look to Badenshin. And how about the touch right there?
Badenshin can be a much better offensive player than he's shown so far for AIC during their first 6 games.
Nice little pull-up jumper for the big fella from 8 feet away. Nails it. Casey Carney won't go. Petkus with the rebound won't go. Rebound Cooper won't go, and it was partially blocked by Badenshin. And now we get a foul that will go against Assumption as Badenshin grabbed the rebound.
Badenshin much more animated this half, both offensively and defensively. Here we have the good opportunity for Petkus. Badenshin going for the block. Comes back into the rebounding action. He's going to make the block here on Cooper. Coach DeVary thought that Coops had drawn a foul there.
And Adam Petkus picking up his 4th personal foul. So Petkus and Mancini both have 4 right now for Assumption.
With AIC trying to go inside to Badenshin, that could be a real factor versus Assumption, minus Adam Petkus.
Badenshin, as we mentioned, a completely different look this half. He has 9 points here in the second half of play after having just 2 in the first half.
Realized he was back in the confines of Worcester, where he played so well at Worcester Academy.
AIC continuing their hot streak from the line. They are 12 of 14 from the charity stripe. Cooper, open look at a 3, and he nails it. Drew Cooper, 41% shooter from beyond the 3-point arc, and he nailed that one, and Assumption trails by 1. That was big. Mickens, big drive, and Brochu thought he had a clean block, And the officials thought otherwise, and Matt will get the foul.
Mickens, again, great three-point player, but prior to this, he made the good drive along the baseline, makes it again here. Brochu probably got a little bit of the forearm. Had some ball, but he certainly got a little bit of the arm.
Mickens front rims the first free throw attempt.
It's hard to explain that when you're in the coaching profession, how a guy can be so proficient from three-point land and not be able to take advantage of the free tries.
So Mickens hits 1 of 2 free throw attempts, and the Yellow Jacket lead is 2. 9:05 remaining in the contest. Niedzwiecki to Cooper. Cooper looked like he was going to pull for 3, and then he drives in. Nifty play by Drew Cooper. He hesitated beyond the arc, looked like he was going to pull up, and then he just found a seam and took it.
Mr. Versatility, Drew Cooper, had the three-pointer last time. Nice drive to the basket here by Mickens. Took Casey Carney one-on-one and beat him.
Answering Cooper's assault. Cooper for 3. Over Badenshin, won't go. Brian Moore battling for the loose ball, and he was frustrated. He didn't come up with it. Mickens to push. They go inside, and Badenshin has been a monster this half.
Saavedra, nice penetration, good feed off the baseline move.
And credit Raphael Badenshin for running the length of the floor and getting out there on the break and in position to score.
AIC may have found themselves a scoring center in this ball game.
Drew Cooper going to draw the foul before the shot on Miller.
Here's the nice move by Saavedra along the baseline. He finds the big guy in the lane. Badenshin's able to catch it and bury it.
1-and-1 for Cooper. And he nails the first one. Badenshin likes that hook. He likes to get the ball up high. At 6'11", he really doesn't have to get it up much higher than that, but when he does, that's an unstoppable shot.
Sure is. Drew Cooper's been on fire. Had a three-pointer, had a left-hand drive to the basket, has had 6 foul shots. He's carrying the Hounds on offense.
And right now, Assumption is trailing by 2. 60-58 with 8:08 remaining. Josh Zielke seeing his first action of the contest.
Zielke's been out since the Southern Connecticut game where he injured his ankle. It was rather severe.
Now we get another one of those hand-checking fouls before the shot. And the fouls are starting to add up on both sides right now. Mancini and Petkus have 4. Niedzwiecki just picking up his 3rd personal with just under 8 minutes remaining in this contest.
Mickens missing at the line and Cooper making him at the line has been the difference in this last 3 minutes.
Cooper has 17 points in this half alone, and Mickens misses again. Brian Moore with the rebound. Here's Zielke. Pull up short. Cooper, big rebound. Drew Cooper right up and over Badenshin.
Zielke showed his rustiness there.
And Cooper starting to take this team on his back.
Cooper's the entire Greyhound offense for the last 8 minutes.
19 points for Cooper this half alone. Mickens won't go. Moore and Cooper battle, and Cooper comes up with the rebound. And Assumption can take the lead. Here's Zielke. Saavedra went for the steal, didn't get it. Zielke got it, gets it to Coop. Coop for 3, in and out. Casey Carney was battling for the loose ball, and the call is going to go on Carter. AIC's Reggie Carter.
Coop misses the three-point opportunity. Carter and Carney going after the ball.
And
Credit
Carter
that call to
that arm lock.
The Hound Pound helped make that decision for the officials.
Coach, that's what you hope to see, is that section filled up every game and let them ride the officials and kind of turn the tide on those close calls.
And as we've mentioned in the other times on the air, Kevin, the home court advantage in the Northeast 10 is vital. Casey Carney misses for the first time this year from the foul line.
Mickens goes the length of the court, puts it up and in.
Mickens is a special offensive player. He can shoot the 3, he can take it to the basket.
Here's Zielke. Carney for 3, won't go. They're off to the races. Carter is open. Carter floats in for an easy 2. And AIC is running and gunning with effectiveness right here.
Casey Carney didn't have his feet set for that shot. He had a good look, but he didn't have his feet set.
Cooper trying to call for the ball in low. He was posting up on Aic. Now he gets it. Doubled. Gets it back to Niedzwiecki for three. And he buries it.
That's a very important part of the future Assumption offense. They're going to have to take the ball inside and come back out again. And Carney and Niedzwiecki and Mancini are going to have to be able to drill the three.
Now Badenshin down low. Zielke coming over to help Moore. He throws up an air ball. And it was tipped by Aic. And will go out of bounds. Assumption ball. So with 6:10 remaining, the Yellow Jackets lead it by 1. We'll be back with more right after this.
Celebrate the start of the holiday season as the Junior League of Worcester presents the 6th Annual Festival of Trees, November 20th through December 6th at the Worcester Common Outlets. 60 beautifully fashioned trees and dozens of unique wreaths will enchant them all. Daily entertainment by local choral groups and gospel choirs, arts and crafts, and more will be yours to enjoy free of charge. Nationally known children's author and entertainer Bill Harley will make a special appearance Sunday, November 22nd at 3 p.m. Join us for this must-see 17-day holiday event.
At the conclusion of today's game, Joe and I will select the Flagship Bank player of the game. Flagship Bank will make a donation of $100 in that player's name to the Assumption College General Scholarship Fund. Certainly right now, Drew Cooper doing everything he can to garner his second award of the season. He has 31 points.
Cooper has done it all on offense. He's done it from the block. He's done it from outside. And here, he makes a good inside-outside feed to Niedzwiecki. Teams are going to tend in the future to stress a little more, double down on Brian Moore and Drew Cooper, and so they're going to have to be able to pass the ball back out to the perimeter, and the perimeter guys, Niedzwiecki and Carney and Mancini, are going to have to be able to sink that jumper from the weak side.
Hounds with a chance to take the lead. They trail by 1. Brian Moore. He's got Badenshin on him. Badenshin's taken out deep. Moore trying to drive. Now kicks it to Cooper. Cooper guarded by Garcia. Cooper gets the ball back inside. Cooper trying to draw it, and we're going to get steps. Drew Cooper trying to draw the foul on Garcia. That's a very big play, because if it had gone on Garcia, that would be his 5th, and he'd be out. Instead, it's a traveling violation, and AIC's ball.
Garcia had part of a double team there. That's where Cooper has to learn to give the ball back out.
Gaining now for the Yellow Jackets. Garcia blocked by Brian Moore. Kept alive by Zielke and taken by Niedzwiecki. Down the other end. Josh will pull it up. Looks inside to Carney. Carney posting Carter up. Floater won't go. Rebound by Cooper. Drew Cooper is just taking this team on his shoulders and saying, I will carry you home.
Assumption has the lead with 5:10. I think that's their first lead of the second half, Kevin.
I believe it is. Cooper has 21 this half, 33 for the game. I believe it is the first time the Hounds have led this half. And now Garcia is going to be fouled by Moore.
Moore made the good defensive play the last time down the court, was a little bit over-aggressive here. But as a coach, you always want a player to play that hard. And with Garcia having Cooper in such a tough position, he needed help. Moore a little bit too aggressive on the foul.
So Garcia will shoot 2. His team trailing by 1. He knocks down the first one. Jorge Garcia has 5 points in the contest. All of them have come from the charity stripe. He came into the game averaging just over 11 points a game. So he's been held under his average here tonight with 5.
Miller has checked in for the Yellow Jacket.
Garcia, normally a very good foul shooter.
He gets 1 of 2, so you put the hex on.
Kiss of death.
And Brad Mancini has checked back in for the Hounds. Mancini playing with 4 personal fouls. We are tied at 65 all. 4:40 remaining. Great look by Moore to Cooper, and Cooper finishes it off.
Niedzwiecki to Moore to Cooper. Assumption leads.
And that's a sign of a great player. If the shots aren't falling for you, you're not really getting the offense like Brian Moore. You find ways to create. He does it, and he does it again with the steal. and the coast-to-coast layup.
Another great defensive play by Brian Moore. Really alert on the weak side.
And it's coming at crunch time. And the Hounds quickly on a run. They jump out in front by 4, 69-65. And now the crowd is starting to get into this game. We'll take a break. When we return, there is 4:17 remaining in this contest.
Hi, I'm Lionel Lamro. It's hard to believe that we have been in business for a little over 20 years. During those years, Lamro Ford has built a reputation of providing our customers a different car shopping experience. No pressure and no gimmicks. From our showroom to our parts department to our award-winning service department, we believe in complete customer satisfaction. Our only goal is to satisfy the customer. For a totally different car shopping experience, take advantage of our experience. Lamro Ford, Route 9, East Brookfield, where friends send their friends.
We're back, everyone. We'll take a second look at Drew Cooper. I don't know if he had Flutie Flakes or Wheaties, but he has been unbelievable in this game.
Nizwicki to Moore to Cooper for the layup. Nice team basketball there, and this is going to be followed by another fine defensive play by Brian Moore. Drew Cooper has carried the Greyhounds offensively, but in the last 2 minutes, Brian Moore has been a major factor defensively.
The Hounds to join a 9-1 run here in the last 2 minutes, and here's the steal by Moore.
Here's the coast-to-coast layup as you described it, Kevin. Brian Moore, though, didn't have it uncontested. Very good body control.
Miller hustling down there to get a hand in here at the end. But that is the mark of a leader and a great player. Brian Moore not having the kind of offensive night that his teammates have come to expect from him, but he's doing the other things. He had the great pass to Cooper, then he comes up with a steal and creates his offense that way. He had a block 3 trips before down the floor. Mickens working Nizwicki. Great move. Rashawn Mickens just wanted it.
He's a fine offensive player.
Assumption leads by 2. Petkus now in the game. He is playing with 4 personal fouls.
But with 4 minutes to go in the game, he has to be on the floor.
Cooper's calling for it down low. He's posting up Garcia. He has called for the ball. Now Badenshin's down there to help. There's a lot of traffic down there. Casey Carney with 9 seconds on the shot clock. Coop pump fakes, gets a 3, and he nails it! With 5 seconds on the shot clock, Drew Cooper had the presence of mind to pump fake, get Garcia going by, and calmly stroke the 3.
When you get the adrenaline going, you see nothing but net.
And that hoop right now looks like it's about 10 feet across for Drew Cooper, and now Badenshin's going to be called, and Assumption has the momentum on their side. The presence of mind, Drew Cooper, a veteran.
Time is running down. Drew's almost going to take the shot and have it blocked. Makes a nice head fake. Is still able to get his feet set. Drills the 3. Down the other end, Adam Petkus does a great job on the defensive board. Draws the foul. Badenshin was the fouler. Petkus, key foul shot here with 3 minutes to go in the ball game.
Both teams in the bonus right now. And Adam Petkus nails the first free throw attempt. So Petkus has 9 points. That is his season average. He misses the second. Hounds lead is 6, 73-67. 3 minutes remaining in the ball game. Carter, guarded by Moore.
AIC's going to try to get Mickens or Carter the shot.
Garcia stripped by Carney. Garcia didn't like it, and now there's going to be a technical foul called on Andy Johnston. Garcia was stripped by Casey Carney. He didn't like it. Johnston exploded on the bench, and he will get the quick technical foul, and that is crucial with 2:44 remaining and your team trailing by 6.
Nice defensive help by Casey Carney here. We'll see it coming up. Slight reach in. All of a sudden you can see Coach Johnson went a little bit berserk there. Bench technical, as fans know, is a 2-shot technical. 2 shots and the ball. That's a vital call. 2:44 in the ball game.
Critical call. Andy Johnston putting his team in a hole as Casey Carney hit both of the free throw attempts. And now the Assumption lead is 8 points. Niedzwiecki tied up, and they call it traveling violation. Traveling violation. He seemed to me to lose the handle on the ball.
Nice defensive position by Gainey. He doesn't reach in, he doesn't foul, and Andy just lost control of the ball, and the referees were right. It was a violation.
So now AIC trying to climb back into the ball game.
Mickens and Carter are the guys that the Hounds have to concentrate on here.
Here is Mickens, spinning, working for his shot. Badenshin, that is not his shot. Carter, Garcia wants it, gets it down low, gets it now, and wow. Badenshin knocking down the jumper.
Badenshin has a nice jump shot facing the basket up to about 15 feet.
So now the Assumption lead is 6, 75-69. There is 2:09 remaining. If you're Andy Johnson, what do you say to your team here?
Looking at a 6-point deficit, saying we're going to have to extend the defense, and we're going to have to look for the three-pointer for Mickens and for Carter. Nice feed here by Garcia. Badenshin facing up from about 15 feet along the baseline, buries the jumper.
Badenshin has 14 points in this half.
Badenshin is more at home as a shooting forward than he is as a post-up center.
He has 16 points for the game, so he was very quiet in the first half with 2, but he's come out in the second half here and led the Yellow Jackets with 14 points.
Extended full court defense by AIC.
Drew Cooper, and certainly he is the man you want to have a handle on the ball right now, as Carter's going to pick up the foul. He was battling with Brian Moore. We are under 2 minutes to play now. Moore will go to the free throw line.
AIC came into the game saying that they were going to try to concentrate on keeping Moore from being effective in the paint. They've done it virtually the whole game except for the beginning of the third quarter. And now again here with 2 minutes to go in the game, the Hounds are able to find Moore as the established position on a block.
Moore has 10 points in the contest. The average is over 21 a game. So the Yellow Jackets have done a fine job of clamping down on Brian, and the first free throw attempt rolls up and in. The Assumption lead is 7.
Petkus back in the ball game, Kevin.
Josh Zielke going to check in as well, as he's over at the scorer's table right now. And Moore knocks them both down. Zielke checks in.
Give Cooper a break with 1:58 to go. He's a little bit tired. Zielke in for some defensive help.
So the Yellow Jackets now very wisely letting the ball go down is Gainey. No time going off the clock. Carter's 3 won't go. Brian Moore getting very high for the rebound, and that is big.
Drew Cooper offensively, Brian Moore defensively have been the difference in the last 5 or 6 minutes for the Greyhounds.
Carney getting into the corner, not where you want to be with a double team situation like that, and they force a jump ball or a timeout call. Before the jump ball, we have a timeout Assumption. Very alert call. Casey Carney was in trouble in the corner, and there was a tie-up, but before so, Assumption called for and got the timeout. We'll take a timeout with 1:37 remaining, and the Hounds leading 77-69.
There's some stories I'd love to spend more time on, and some people I'd love to spend more time with. The best part for me about being a reporter is knowing that I've affected people's lives. I would say the worst part is probably not being able to do enough for some of the kids I see. A lot of our stories take time to put together from beginning to end, and it always amazes me to look at the final product. We can be at an event at 8 o'clock at night and have them on the air at 10 o'clock. Knowing that I've made at least one person smile is enough for me.
We're back, everyone. Serge DeBarry talking things over with his troops. They're enjoying an 8-point lead right now with 1:37 remaining, and the Hounds have continued to pour it on, much to the delight of the young fans. Assumption in the midst of a 12-4 run covering the last 3 minutes of this contest.
Drew Cooper carried the team offensively. Brian Moore, not having a great offensive night, all of a sudden has been a major factor defensively here. Greyhounds don't want to give the open 3. They don't want to make the stupid foul. They want to be patient on offense.
The youngest cheerleader there, down there with some of the varsity cheerleaders, firing it up. She's going to be a child prodigy if she actually goes to school here. Now Mancini handling the ball. Brad Mancini caught in the air dangerously, but he got it out to Niedzwiecki. Mancini gets it back.
Assumption trying to work down the clock, but the shot clock is running out.
And Carney missed everything, so it will be a turnover, and AIC will take it. Now we're going to have some substitutions. Zielke and Petkis will check into the game for the defensive side of things, and Mancini and Cooper will check out.
Offense, defense, manipulation there by Coach DeBarry.
Gainey this time pressured when he gets the ball so that the clock will begin to run right away. Beautiful job by Casey Carney. Carney got a hand on the ball. Zielke grabbed it, tried to lead Carney a little bit too far for him. Great diving attempt by Casey to keep it in, and Andy Niedzwiecki just looks to Josh to say, it's all right, just settle down. We got a minute left. We're in control of this ball game.
Zielke, good hustle, but showed his rustiness a little bit.
Carter front rim, great rebound, Brian Moore.
Brian Moore, good defense on the shot by Carter. Pursued the defensive rebound.
Brian Moore grabbing the tough rebounds, and he is one of those lunch pail guys for this team. He is fouled by Garcia, and that will do it for Jorge Garcia.
The nice thing here is Moore is out defensively on the shooter and still has the presence of mind to get back into the rebounding action. Often players will extend themselves defensively on the shooter and then just stand outside, but Brian chased the ball down. Comes to the foul line here with a chance for two. Give the Hounds an opportunity for a 9-point lead, 10-point lead.
Saavedra will now check into the game, replacing Garcia, who fouls out on the play. Brian Moore will be at the line. His team in front by 8 with 1 minute and 1 second remaining in this ball game.
Assumption never really improved its great shooting from the floor as a team, but Cooper was phenomenal. He just carried them totally offensively.
Definitely was the difference here again. Assumption is 76% shooting from the line tonight. Brian misses the first free throw attempt. The entire Assumption team is down the other end of the floor for defensive purposes. Brian Moore hits 1 of 2.
Don't do anything stupid. Don't give him an open three. Don't make a stupid foul.
Assumption lead is 9. Mickens to Saavedra, back to Mickens. They're taking way too long to get this off. Zielke goes to the floor. Petkis got to check it. Niedzwiecki goes to the floor. Great hustle by the Hounds. They swarmed the ball when it was on the ground. Zielke started it. Niedzwiecki cleans it up. And when he gets it, he's going to be fouled.
The defensive substitution for the offensive players that we mentioned before shows up right here. Zielke makes a great effort defensively, knocks the ball clear. Niedzwiecki comes up with it, and he draws the foul. Niedzwiecki usually an outstanding foul shooter.
And he hits the first one.
No kiss of death on that one.
Andy Niedzwiecki with 7 points tonight, but 2 very big three-pointers. Make it 8 points for Niedzwiecki, the junior co-captain from Sutton, Massachusetts, nearby.
You'll read the paper tomorrow and see the score. You'll never believe how much of the game AIC was in control of the ball game.
And now Gainey's going to drive and draw the foul on the play. And that one may be on Petkis. If it is, that is it. It is. So Adam Petkis has fouled out of the ball game.
The final dagger in the heart, Kevin, was the technical foul on the bench.
Certainly was it. Casey Carney hit both of the free throws, so they made it hurt.
Adam Petkis fouled out tonight, but he used most of his fouls on the defensive end of the court. That's what I like to see out of him as the big forward and small center for Assumption College.
And that's a change from Wednesday night against Pace, where he had the majority of his fouls on the offensive side of the ball. So Assumption leads it by 11 with 39 seconds remaining in the game.
Coach DeBarry happy to have Zielke back. Zielke, as we mentioned a couple of times, looked a little rusty. Hasn't been practicing but for a couple of days. Violation on the foul shot there on the part of the Yellow Jackets. Assumption ball.
Badenshin jumping into the lane too early, and now a turnover as Niedzwiecki fired to Moore. It went off Brian's knee and out of bounds. So no time really coming off the clock there in AIC basketball.
Niedzwiecki threw a low outside slider to Brian that time from out of bounds. Very difficult to catch.
Mickens drives the lane and hits, and now AIC will call for and get a timeout. The Yellow Jackets trailing by 9, 34 seconds remaining, so that play only took 3 seconds. And that does hurt a little bit there on the turnover. I think what you'll see Serge say is, let's just relax here and enjoy the ball, get it in.
I think the Greyhounds are starting to celebrate, but Mickens hasn't quit yet. He's been an outstanding player all night, both from three-point land and taking the ball to the basket. 34 seconds left. The Fat Lady is probably starting her song, Kevin.
24 points on the night for Rashawn Mickens. Certainly the Fat Lady can warm up the pipes and begin to sing now. But as you mentioned, Joe, the score will not indicate how close this game was and really how desperate it was at certain times for Assumption. AIC was in control of this game.
Not only close, as you say, but AIC actually was dominating the action and had the lead more minutes of the game than Assumption has had the lead. But Assumption, on the back of Drew Cooper and a great hustle of Brian Moore, has come back and taken a dominant lead in the ballgame.
And this has got to hurt the Yellow Jackets because they're coming off a tough loss to Bentley on Sunday. It was a one-point game at the half there, and they fell to the Falcons 77-67, but another game where the score not indicative of how close play really was.
AIC played well here tonight. 6th road loss in a row. Casey Carney missed his first foul shot of the season earlier in the ball game, but he's an outstanding foul shooter.
And Carney knocks them both down. Josh Zilke will step in again for defensive purposes. The Assumption lead is 11, 30 seconds remaining. Gainey driving. Mancini on the defense, won't go. Rebound Zilke. Now there's some confusion. AIC letting Assumption play with the basketball, and now they do finally foul Andy Niedzwiecki, but not before about 6 or 7 seconds had actually run off the clock.
Josh Zilke makes a contribution on the steal about 30 seconds ago. Now a defensive rebound here. Coach Sabari and his staff welcome Josh back.
So Andy Niedzwiecki will be at the line for Assumption, the sole hound on the offensive half of the court. And he misses the first one. Andy Johnston, the AIC coach, still coaching here right to the end. 18 seconds left, his team trailing by 11, but there's no quitting him. And he has a very young team with only 2 seniors on this team. The rest freshmen and sophomores as Niedzwiecki hits 1 of 2. And Zilke's going to get called for the foul as Mickens drove. But what Johnston's doing right now, Joe, certainly is coaching for the future of this team. He knows that realistically he's not going to get his team back in the ballgame to win tonight, but he's coaching for the future.
And that's very vital when you're in the coaching profession. You can't quit if you're not going to want your players to quit. He's coaching hard. His team played well on the road. They have some wins in front of them. They have to get back to Batova Gym and play a couple of home games.
This is the 3rd NE10 game for Assumption, so they will run their record to a perfect 3-0 in league play. 5-2 overall.
Assumption Hounds, the preseason favorite, and so far they've played like it.
Living up to their billing. Now they work the ball very nicely up the court, killing some time off the clock before it is knocked away by AIC, but a nice job by Assumption there of everyone getting the ball in and out of the hands quickly and finding the open player. We'll get a foul on Reggie Carter as he was holding Brian Moore, who was trying to cut back door on the play. Fourth personal foul on Carter.
I think
It's
Zilke's going to the line.
Serge can laugh about it now as he is on the sideline there with Steve St. Martin, Sean Conrad, the rest of his staff.
No look of consternation now.
No. Earlier in the game, he was looking for the Maalox bottle, but now he's just enjoying the final seconds of this one. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds left by Andy Johnston as he draws the ire of some of the fans who just want to see this one get put in the books. Assumption comfortably in front by 10. 2 seconds remaining in the ball game. The first lead for Assumption in this game was 65-64, and that was with 5:18 remaining. They finished the contest on a 19-10 run. And let's take this opportunity. Tonight's flagship bank player of the game is Drew Cooper. A donation of $100 will be made to the Assumption College General Scholarship Fund in Cooper's name. And when this game was a desperate measures for Assumption, they were down and AIC was in control. It was Cooper who stepped up, and he did it offensively, and he got some clutch boards as well, but he really he was calling for the ball.
Coaches, fans, players, everybody in the gym knows that tonight Drew Cooper carried the Greyhounds without question. He's the player of the game.
Niedzwiecki just hurls it down the court, and that will do it. So the Assumption Greyhounds win it in a very closely contested ball game, one that the score will not indicate. The Hounds take it 84-74 and run their record to 3-0 in the NE10 and 5-2 overall. And this was a nice test of character for Assumption. We'll be back to wrap up this game with more of our thoughts right after this.
Hi, I'm Lionel Lamro. It's hard to believe that we have been in business for a little over 20 years. During those years, Lamro Ford has built a reputation of providing our customers a different car shopping experience. No pressure and no gimmicks. From our showroom to our parts department to our award-winning service department, we believe in complete customer satisfaction. Our only goal is to satisfy the customer. For a totally different car shopping experience, take advantage of our experience. Lamro Ford, Route 9, East Brookfield, where friends send their friends.
My life has changed forever.
Will I never have to worry?
Will I have the freedom to do, to go, to be whatever I want?
Will I ever be a size 10?
What do we expect from our HMO? The perfect life? All we really want is a promise to let our doctor do her job. And if anyone in our family gets sick, make sure we can go to the best doctors and hospitals. Nobody delivers on that promise like Fallon, with benefits that redefine healthcare. Then there's Fallon's Peace of Mind program. It lets you self-refer to some of the world's most famous hospitals and specialists. No gatekeepers.
Will my smile like the sky?
Will I be around to see my great-grandchildren?
Ask your employer about all the benefits only Fallon offers. Or call Fallon.
We're back, everyone, in a fan-friendly atmosphere here now as the Assumption Greyhounds pull one out. And this was certainly a test of character for the Greyhounds. The kids enjoying the camera, enjoying the game. But the Hounds didn't lead this contest until the second half was about halfway done.
Little kids didn't have much to I'm sorry, Kevin. Little kids didn't have much to cheer about through most of that ball game. But Drew Cooper, as a senior co-captain, is supposed to do. Game on the line, took the game over, and was outstanding. He was inside, outside. He just did it all. And with 5 minutes to go and the game still in the balance, Brian Moore just came alive on the defensive board and on the defensive end.
So behind our player of the game, Drew Cooper's 38 points, the Assumption Greyhounds win it 84-74. Our final, once again, from Laska Gymnasium, Assumption 84 and AIC 74. Be sure and join us this Sunday for the ECAC Holiday Tournament. We will have the consolation and championship games for you live from Holy Cross. Ryder, Brown, and Seton Hall and Holy Cross. Our coverage begins Sunday at 1 o'clock. For Joe O'Brien and everyone at Greater Media that made this possible, I'm Kevin Shea saying thanks for joining us, and so long, everyone. Possible. I'm Kevin Shea saying thanks for joining us, and so long, everyone.